Okay, picture this. You're 2 hours into refactoring someone else's code, and you realize that you need to make the same tedious change to 47 different lines. Your first instinct: copy, paste, and edit. Yeah, no, that's what we call peak human inefficiency. Today we are talking Vim Macros, basically teaching your editor to do your job while you grab a coffee and pretend you're a 10x developer. And before you ask, no, this isn't some another how to exit Vim tutorial. We are way past that kindergarten stuff. So, what's a macro? Think of it as recording yourself being productive for once, then hitting replay whenever you need to pretend you're that efficient again. Technically, it's just Vim recording every keystroke you make and storing it in a register. Or those little memory slots that Vim uses to hold on to text. The beauty is that you can record literally any sequence of command and execute that sequence with one keystroke. Okay, suppose there's a line. I'm going to add semicolons at the end of this line. Pretty easy, you could just do it the manual way. Press A, capital A to go append at the end of the line, press a semicolon, and be done with it. Great. Now suppose there are multiple lines like these. Do you do that for every line? No, that's where macros come in. Press Q. See that? We just started recording into register Q. Everything I type now gets saved like a time capsule. Great. I just recorded, go to the end of the line, add a semicolon, go down one line. Revolutionary stuff, I know. We could just rerun this macro using @Q. Rerun this macro multiple times by appending a number before it. And great. So a more practical use case of the example we just discussed would be something like this. Suppose you have a JavaScript object and you don't have commas at the end. But you could just use this macro. Record it into Q, go to the end of the line, add a comma, go down one line, exit recording the macro. Great. You could just run this macro as many times as you want and quickly get the job done. Say I messed up and want to modify my macro. I can paste it out with double quotes QP. And would you look at that? It's just raw keystrokes. I can edit this like any other text. So let's say instead of a semicolon, I wanted to add a comma. I could replace the semicolon with a comma and I could just yank this back into the Q register. So that's great. Now, okay, so now first of all, I want to remove these semicolons. So I'll write another macro with QW, just very similar things. Okay, exit recording, and now just run this macro 8 times. Great. And now when I'll run the original macro from the register Q, in which we replace the semicolon with the comma, it should now append a comma instead of a semicolon. So yeah, great. So running it multiple times, boom, it works. Okay, so few things that will save you some pain. First, macros stop if any command fails. So if you're searching for text that doesn't exist, your macro just dies. Plan accordingly. Second, motions like F and T are great for macros if the character you're searching for exists on every line. Otherwise, see point 1. Third, you can view all your macros with a command called reg or registers. It's great for viewing any registers, not just for macros. So yeah, useful for debugging when your macro does something completely unhinged. Look, are macros going to turn you into a Vim wizard overnight? Probably not. But they are one of those features that once you start using them, you'll wonder how you ever lived without them. Plus, nothing says I definitely know what I'm doing, like automating away 20 minutes of manual editing in like 30 seconds. Try them out, break some stuff, learn the limits. That's the only way this is going to stick. If this saved you some time or taught you something new, hit the like button. Helps the algorithm think I'm slightly less terrible at this YouTube thing. If you got any cool macro tricks to share, drop them in the comments. I read all of them, even the ones telling me my terminal theme is garbage. Subscribe if you like this. Want more of content about Vim, terminal, CLI, Linux, macOS.